We are going to be like going through BL unpopular opinions in this stream, which I'm excited about because I found a whole Reddit thread of unpopular opinions and we're going to read through them. What are y'all's like unpopular BL opinions? And it has to be good. It has to be good. Something that like people might like witch hunt you for. So this thread, it says, I love reading people's unpopular opinions, but I'm always hesitant to share mine. But since I'm in some mood for some spice, I'll go first. Please bear with me. So this person said, I really wanted to, but couldn't get on the hype train for Light on Me. Okay. I used to watch it while it aired, so it's not like it did not meet my expectations or something. I just felt like it took too long for our leads to get together, and I didn't find the execution of the love triangle as smooth as people claim it to be, especially since in their gang, everyone knew whose heart went where at each point. It made things a little awkward to watch. Also, it had a very PG-13 feel to it. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't mean it in a nice way. Like Cherry Magic is pretty PG-13, but I love it. It's one of my favorites. I still think it was made with a lot of love and that it had a dedicated 16 episodes to it, which was huge, which was a huge step for BLs. As far as like the PG-13 feel to it, I, to be honest, cannot take people seriously when they say that about shows that are like based in high school. I'm like, what else do you expect? Like, if we're being absolutely for real, do you expect it not to be like PG? Like, I just really want to know. Like, they reference Cherry Magic is like PG-13, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Cherry Magic is PG, but it's also like grown up. So it might be like something where the person just doesn't, they just don't relate well to like high school BLs, which same. I don't particularly like high school BLs. That's just not my thing anymore because I'm way out of high school and it's just like there's been years between that and now I'm just like, okay, whatever. They also said that moving on, Together and Brightwind are a little overhated. Do they mean overrated or do they mean overhated? I think they mean overhated here. They might not be the absolute best, but they are pretty cute together, and Together is a good introductory BL. Together, I liked Together. I really liked Still Together. Have not seen the movie. I think there's a movie, isn't there? I have not seen the movie, but I liked it. Oh, I do agree that it is a good introductory BL because it's not like too crazy on the concepts. It is a good introductory BL. That's one thing I will not like let y'all take away from Together is the impact it had. Like it's not the best BL, but it had an impact because of how easy it is to watch. They said, I love Bad Buddy just as much as people do, but I personally felt a little bad that Not Me didn't get the limelight it deserved in spite of having such a great leading couple in a different and compelling storyline. Of course, they are extremely different in terms of genres, so there's no comparison in that sense. And I also understand why many viewers wouldn't be drawn to Not Me. Doesn't have a lot of general BL tropes and focuses on social political aspects a lot, but I feel if it faced no competition during the time it aired, it would have been watched a lot more and appreciated even more. Of course, this doesn't take away from the fact that Omnanan deserved all the love. Hell, I love them too. It's more about the underappreciation of Not Me due to his overlap in airing months with Bad Buddy. I generally, when it comes to like things that are hyped, I always think that there is a time for everything because sometimes things, obviously overlapping shows does play a part in like their immediate success or whatever. People will still go and watch the other, like the numbers will be there. Because if I look at Not Me, let's look at like the first like episode. Yeah, so like the first episode got 5.5 million views, right? And then Bad Buddy has like 13 million on the first episode. which is honestly crazy. I feel like if people didn't watch Not Me, it's because it hit on some like social political stuff. But I don't think that it was necessarily, now that I'm like thinking about it, you know, I kind of agree a little bit more looking at the numbers and stuff. If a show has something to do with like real queer stories, and look, I'm not insinuating anything with this statement, right? But I feel like whenever something is dealing with actual queer issues, people tend to not care as much as they would when it comes to like childhood friends fighting and then falling in love. You know, it's like, it's more exciting, right? Okay, this is interesting. So this person says, is it an unpopular opinion to say that I don't really think there are actually unpopular opinions? I said that at the beginning of the stream. I feel like unpopular opinions aren't really unpopular opinions unless they are like really, really bad takes. Like, you have to really have a bad take in order to have an unpopular opinion. But this person said, what I mean is that there are trends. Bad Buddy was trending while it was on. Lots and lots of, oh my God, best thing ever. But all the folks who were not as impressed just weren't posting as much. Same for Light on Me. I thought it was fine, but didn't post much as I mostly enjoyed it, but thought it was a more slow and quiet than I preferred. Most of us have a few favorites and a few that we intensely dislike, and then a whole bunch that we think are okay and enjoyable, but not spectacular. I feel like people don't really tweet, or people don't really talk about the series that they absolutely hate, like despise, like they don't go in on Twitter, like, because I mean, obviously I'll see people say like, I don't like this series, or this series was bad, or, you know, but I don't see any, like, I never see any extremely disrespectful comments about series. So any opinion is going to be shared by some or not others. There are posting trends where it seems like everyone agrees with something, but I think those are false impressions based on how excited a few people are at the time. Right now, again, this is a 2-year-old thread, so this person is speaking from like the past, but right now Semantic Error seems like a god gift to BL. I bet in a month it'll be Ken Porsche, and then in May it'll be Middleman's Love or Miracle of a Teddy Bear. Check out or Unforgotten Night will take over for June, etc., etc., etc. Oh, child, if they only knew. Semantic Error, yes, was a godsend. Period. Also, I didn't know that Intata was in Miracle of a Teddy Bear. That's where I seen him from. This person says, most BLs absolutely do not need a sequel. I agree. You know what's really interesting though? And I think it's funny because me and Alyssa for the basic chat, if you don't follow the basic chat, it is a visual podcast that me and my bestie Alyssa have. Go follow them. Go follow us. But we just filmed an episode today talking about like whether or not things are queer baiting and whether or not, you know, the fandoms are reaching. And I feel like people don't understand what the actual definition of queer baiting is. And that's the problem. The definition of queer baiting, especially like in the BL community, has like almost in a sense lost its actual meaning. Queer baiting only applies to media. It does not apply to real people. Real people, I will stand by this. I will die on this hill. Real people cannot queer bait. I don't care unless that person definitively tells you. You can see it come out their mouth. You can hear it come out their mouth that they are straight. They are a heterosexual person. And even then, it's still wishy-washy because guess what? We are humans and we do what? Lie. Like, I was lying all through elementary to middle school to sophomore year of high school about my sexuality. I was definitely straight before sophomore year of high school. Look where we are now, right? For people who are not saying what their sexuality is, you can't just assume, because that goes into a whole nother slew of things that are bad, you know, because it assuming someone's sexuality and being like, oh, that person is definitely straight, it completely erases people who are maybe on the masculine side of the spectrum, who are on the feminine side of the spectrum. It invalidates them. It also invalidates bi and pan people. There's also a little bit of misogyny mixed into it, because it's like, why do you think that every queer person has to be effeminate? And why is that a problem if they're not? So you get what I'm saying? So I think there needs to be a deeper thinking about when people make accusations like that. It's not the flex y'all think it is when it comes to like saying, oh, these people are queer baiting. It's like, no, they're not. They're playing a role. They're obviously playing a role. I think people need to check what they're seeing or what they're perceiving and how they're perceiving it when it comes to that. This person says, my unpopular opinion is that I enjoy watching problematic series. Child, me too. Everybody loves a little bit of mess. If they tell you they don't, they're lying. Everybody loves at least a little bit of mess, like a teensy bit. Give me all the non-dub con, step sibling incest. That's crazy. Toxic relationships, age gap relationships, morally gray characters, etc. that always get criticized, bashed. I can enjoy them just fine because to me, fiction is fiction. Right. I agree. I think though that there is a problem when fans start to rationalize the things that people have done as something that can be rationalized IRL, right? It's fine in fiction and it's fine to be like, I don't care, like they're toxic, but I love them. Like I love the toxicity of it, but it's like, let's be for real. Good example is Vegas from Kim Porsche. Vegas for Kim Porsche. The way people like were defending him so much, and like they were like, if you grew up like this, if you grew up like that, and all and I'm like, I'm not saying that he is not a product of his surroundings. I'm saying that he's a sociopath, and we should not give a path to people who are cognitively able to change their habits. Just because you come from a certain thing does not mean that gives you the right to do the bad things that were done to you to other people that had nothing to do. You know, he is definitely a horrible person. Even Bible, and I'm so glad he said this. He was on some type of like interview thing, and he was like somebody commented or something good about Vegas or something like that, and he was like, no, Vegas is a big red flag, like hella red flag. Like, no, Vegas is a bad person. Oh, this was kind of messy. So this person says, as a gay man, I don't really have a problem with the trope, you're the only guy I like. I mean, given the most of these are like in high school or college, still young age, it's normal for them to figure and experience their sexuality. Plus, from personal experience, it feels nice being told that. LOL. Okay. The way they said it definitely rationalizes it a little bit more in my mind. I'm not gonna lie. I will say that I'm fine with like them saying you're the only guy for me. What I have a problem with is when they say I'm not gay or I'm not queer, I just like you. Because, I mean, I get it. You're still figuring stuff out, especially if you're in high school. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, Pookie, this just means you have a type. You have a type of man that you like, and this person fits the bill. And there is no telling that, like, later on, if y'all don't make it and you find another man that fits this bill again, that you're going to be telling him he's the only one for you again. This person says, I'm gonna get under a lot of fire for this, but screw it. To my star, I'm scared to even read past that comment, because To My Star has a special place in my heart. To My Star, which all the people here seem to love, bored me to the point that I thought about dropping it. Something I never do with BLs. I think your opinion is invaluable. The plot in general was okay, I guess, and I don't deny the main couple's chemistry, although it was pretty mediocre too. But there was something about the whole show that I just couldn't get I just couldn't get into the story. I will say that Sejun and Jiu were annoying. Their relationship, because it was very much the miscommunication of the century. But at the same time, the chemistry, like, I think of BLs as a point system. And it's like chemistry, plot, like cohesiveness, and then like last on, I do production. Like production is like last on my list, because you can get series that don't have high production value and they be like immaculate, amazing, chef's kiss, right? I feel like the chemistry, it's like the plot and stuff and the cohesiveness of the story, I knocked off like a couple points, but the chemistry tacked on those points again. Like it added a couple, like that's why I love it so much. All right, so this person says, I hate fan service and I don't like forcing actors to pretend they are friends, like each other, or etc. I do understand they do it for money, marketing, and etc. But itself, it creates very toxic fandoms. I would prefer to see normal interactions and that are more real. Not all couples are good friends, and that's completely fine. I don't not like fan service. I am coming more so from the angle of I want to see people with different people. Like, I feel like it's very limiting. Like, obviously, actors can have such great careers with being in a ship. We've seen it. Like, you can amass great success and great fame out of being in a really good ship and having one really good show. Like, a really good example of that is Tarn Type. Tarn Type was massively popular. Mew, the only other thing that Mew was really in was What the Duck. And then he had like little projects here and there. But that was his breakthrough, right? That was what like broke through that ceiling for him. Same thing with Golf. Golf wasn't really in anything before that, except I think he was in like commercials and like little things here and there, but that's what broke through the ceiling for those two. And like now Mew has his own company. Golf is really popular in like Lacones, like all of that stuff, right? So people can amass fame, but I do think creatively it is very limiting to the people involved in the ship. And then the second part of that was someone said, mine is that sometimes people shouldn't take BLs too seriously. You should be able to distinguish between reality and fiction. I mean, I watch things to escape from reality in a way. That's what makes it fun. If everyone was picture perfect and can do no wrong, then that would be just as boring and non-realistic. I agree some BLs can be problematic and it can be triggering for some people, but maybe you shouldn't judge it based off of that part. Tarn Type Season 1 had a non-consensual kiss. Had more than that. There was a non-consensual kiss. There was a non-consensual intimate acts. There's a lot more than that, but I get what they're saying. But so did Semantic Error in a way. I still adore both of them, but why aren't they held to same standards? Yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I agree. I think we shouldn't take it too seriously. I think that people also shouldn't take that the things that happen in these BLs as something that is okay in real life, because we see that all the time. I do think people need to understand that while some things are triggering to some, it's not triggering to others. It's like you don't tell somebody, like if you have a peanut allergy and someone likes peanuts, like you don't tell them, oh, don't eat peanuts. And they're like, well, I'm not anywhere near you, so why are you telling me not to eat peanuts? Because I have an allergy, but I don't have an allergy, so why can't I eat peanuts? You get what I'm saying? That's like, it's a crazy metaphor, but like, that's, but there are sides to it that are very much distasteful when it comes to the representation of queer people though, which is a whole nother like conversation. But that's another conversation. But yeah, I do think people should not take it as seriously as some do. I think we just all need to chill. We just all need to chill. But that's like it for this like thread. I think it's funny. You know what's actually really funny is I ended up going through the entire thread. That was there's comments under other people's, but like out of the main contributions to the thread, that was it, which is crazy. But guys, that's gonna be it for this like live stream. I just wanted to come on here for like a good old hour. We ended up being on here an hour and 15 minutes, but come on here and talk to you guys and like, you know, just talk about some things. But y'all can follow me on all my social medias, on my socials. Like, let me know if there's some other topics you want to talk about on like these little random pop-up lives, but I'll try to do them throughout the week. And obviously on Saturday we're going to be watching His Man, right?